Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. I'm back from Comic-Con. I've deprived you of your daily dose of Jingles for the last 5 days, although the Comic-Con video went up yesterday. I edited that as soon as I got back, but now it's back to business. It's time for some World of Tanks. And this is Stiggy Captain in the FV4202, the British Tier 10 medium tank, and this tank really doesn't get a lot of love. I've actually seen one of these. They've got one, possibly the only one, at the Bovington Tank Museum. It's in the restoration hall, and it is wrecked. I don't know if you'd call it the gun mantlet, but the gun is literally just sitting, hanging out of the turret. It's broken. Unlikely to ever be restored. Was never actually designed to fight. It was the testbed concept for the reclining driving position in the Chieftain. Not quite sure why Wargaming decided to make this the British Tier 10 medium, although it's not going to be the British Tier 10 medium for much longer. It's going to be replaced with the Action 10 Centurion, although they've been threatening to do that for quite some time. No idea when it's going to eventually happen. Likewise, the British FV215B Tier 10 heavy tank is going to be replaced by the Chieftain, which I am very, very excited about. But enough about the Chieftain. This is Stiggy Captain in the FV4202. He's on the Fiery Salient map, which is basically Prokhorovka with a facelift. Although I do like what they're doing with some of these, the extra immersion that they're adding to some of the maps in World of Tanks. We've got the artillery barrage at the start, you've got the aircraft flying overhead, you've got wrecked artillery positions on the hill and scattered across the battlefield. You've got enemy tanks cresting the ridge and getting very, very lucky shots. Didn't expect that to penetrate. But that's the first damage that he's done. Plenty of other targets, however. This is a good spot for a tank like the FV4202. It doesn't have that bouncy gun mantlet that you have on the Mark 7 Centurion at Tier 9. But it's got good gun depression, it's got a good power-to-weight ratio, even if it doesn't have a very good top speed. Which means that in situations like this, where you're edging backwards and forwards and constantly trying to... Well, here, there you go, once again. Snapping shots like that, while moving. And, oh, this guy is just making it easy. That Tiger 2 just didn't care. He looked like a stock Tiger 2 in a Tier 10 match. I think he just wanted it all over as soon as possible when he got his wish. And that enemy 4202 is not making it particularly difficult either. So there's his first proper kill, and he did a lot of damage to that 4202 and was rewarded with the killing blow. The Conqueror over there, running out of friends, doesn't look too keen to crest the ridge anymore. But, this is the kind of situation where the 4202, in this kind of position, can do very, very well indeed. Constantly moving backwards and forwards, scanning to the left, scanning to the right, targets popping up both sides, using the terrain and the dips and folds in the terrain to your advantage. Constantly moving the tank backwards, moving the tank forwards, with the good power-to-weight ratio. Even though it doesn't have a very good top speed, it changes direction very, very quickly. And it doesn't lose a lot of accuracy when it's doing it. And it's got that great 105mm British Royal Ordnance gun, which is a good gun on the Centurion, but it's better here at Tier 10 on the 4202. It's more accurate, it's got a faster aiming time, and the soft stats on the gun are pretty good as well. It loads and fires faster, and that 121 has just gone full retard. Yep, no question about it. Look at the crossfire going into that guy. Stiggy's just been hit as well from a hidden T-34 down there. And he's going to start crying that his team abandoned him to his fate. Any second now. There's a crossfire coming over there from an IS-8, an IS-7 and a hidden T-34. And there it is in chat. His team abandoned him.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Yeah, if you want to leave a good position to go face first into at least 6 enemy tanks at once, then, help yourself, but don't expect your team to come with you, and don't blame them when it inevitably gets you your ass handed to you on a silver plate. There's no reason to go over the ridge. They've got a good position up here. They're getting spots on all of these enemy tanks down there, and here they go. They're running for it. Tanks in the open. Shoot at them from a position of strength. Don't abandon a position of strength to take shots at tanks that you can shoot from a position of strength. The 121 went full retard. You never go full retard. Stiggy is by no means going to camp this hill for the rest of the match. There we go, another one just went for it. And he paid the price as well. There are far too many tanks down there. There's still a T-34 in the bushes down there, behind that IS-8, who has not yet been spotted, and who has hit Stiggy twice. And he's just hit him again. Lighten up the IS-3. Seeing how far he needs to go to get the gun depression to shoot him again and again and again. T-34 is still down there, and those are just the ones that we know about. Look at that gun depression. And he just keeps poking that ridgeline, using that gun depression. You couldn't do this in one of the Soviet Tier 10 mediums. Well, you could, but you'd have to expose more of the tank in order to get the gun pointed down the hill at those targets. Oh, here he goes. Now he's going to go for it. Nails another one. He knows, of course, that he's been spotted. He knows that the T-34 is down there in the bushes under that railway embankment. And he's just bounced a shot from him. Okay, well, he knows the direction that the T-34 shots are coming from. Is that? Oh, I thought that was him. No, it's a T-30 on the other side of the railway embankment. So he's going for the Tiger 2, putting as much concealment between himself and the direction from which the T-34 shots were coming. He's probably not... No, Target 2's gone, okay? And he's been spotted again, so that he knows the T-34 is going to be aiming at him. So again, putting as much cover as possible between himself and the T-34 as he can. He knows he's down there. There he is. The T-34 fires. He does take a hit, penetrates his upper glacis, snapshots the return fire. Can he use that wrecked tank in front of him as concealment? I think he can. And he's definitely going to get another shot off before that T-34 reloads. There's not an awful lot of concealment here. Oh, and he bounces one. And he's going to get another 2 shots before the T-34 reloads. If somebody else doesn't finish him off, Stiggy will. Any second now. Shot goes in, doesn't kill him. Stiggy claims the kill. With that kill on the T-34, they now 100% control all of the map to the west of the railway embankment. So it's time to close up and see what he can do about this IS-7. Now this is going to be tricky, because good gun depression or no, you're going to have to expose an awful lot of the tank, particularly with the T-30 down there, and the T-30 can one-shot him in order to get the gun down low enough to actually put a shot into the IS-7 side armour, because you won't penetrate the side of his turret. Can he get a shot at the T-30? If he was in a Russian Tier 10 medium, no chance. But he's not in a Russian Tier 10 medium. He's in the FV4202, and yes, you can take that kind of shot in this tank. Now, he doesn't have to worry about the IS-7 lighting him up, and no, you can't quite get through that gap. Nice try. It's just the IS-7 and the Jaegeru left on the enemy team, and the Jaegeru, and he's killed the IS-7 as well. And the Jaegeru is going to be camping the bushes right at the back end of that big north-south road all the way over on the western side of the map, and there he is. So now it's just a question of farming as much extra damage on this guy as he can, and that looked like it blew his tracks off. Can he get any assistance damage out of it? No, the Jaegeru's repaired his tracks. And this isn't a great angle. The Jaegeru pointing towards him, he's kind of 45-degree angled. You know what the frontal armour on this thing's like. He's trying to hit his lower glacis, but even at that kind of range, this guy needs to turn. Turn, Jaegeru, turn. Turn to the side. There we go. More tracking damage. Come on, somebody on the team damage him. Let's get some spotting and assistance damage out here. He's trying to close in to get some flanking shots. There it is. There's a good flanking shot. Come on, can we do 8,000 damage? You've got your Radley Walters. Can you do 8,000 damage? You've done over 7,000. Come on. Come on. Come on, Stiggy. You can do it. There we go. Oh, so close. So close. 7,900. Can you get another one? Come on, Stiggy. Do it for your Uncle Jingles. No, Jaegeru. Don't turn. Turn the other way, Jaegeru. Oh, maybe next time. He's just going to have to settle for a Radley Walters medal, 8 kills, and 7,900 damage done. But wait. Plot twist, he got some blind shots in. He did do 8,000 damage, and bounced 1,500 damage with his armour, what there is of it, and did over 2,000 spot and damage as well. Stiggy Captain, is there no end to his talents? But wait, come back, there's more. Yeah, I've been away for a few days. I wouldn't leave you hanging with just a 10-minute World of Tanks video when I came back. We've got 3 World of Tanks replays for you in today's video, and this is the second one. This is a dirty scrub. What? That's his name. Seriously, that is his name. I'm not insulting him. This is a dirty scrub in quite possibly my favourite vehicle in World of Tanks, the Centurion Mark 7 Tier 9 British medium tank, the little brother to the FE4202 that Stiggy Captain was driving in the first replay. And yes, that is a Canadian maple leaf on the side of the turret, so that means a dirty scrub is in fact almost British. Hooray! Sorry, Canada. But you do have the Queen as your head of state, so, you know, it counts. British tank with an almost British tank driver. I do love this tank, though. It has the same limitations as the FE4202. The top speed of 40 kilometers per hour is not great at all. It's pretty much barely acceptable for a high-tier medium. But, you know, when you're in a concerted tank push like this, you have to keep this thing moving. Otherwise, you... wow, did you see that snapshot? And look at this guy running away. You can run, but you can't hide. Not with that lot coming over the ridge after you. Okay, so there's first blood. Like the 4202, however, the Centurion Mark 7 excels in ridge peaking like this, but it's better at it because the Centurion has that bouncy gun mantlet that the 4202 just doesn't have. You saw in the earlier replay with Stiggy Captain, when it was 4202 versus 4202 on a ridgeline, he was able to penetrate the front of the turret of the enemy 4202 every time. It's very hard to get through the front of the turret of the Centurion Mark 7. And as you can quite clearly see here, he has enough gun depression with that fantastic 105mm gun that he can peek over the ridge and put consistent fire into everything on the other side without exposing his lower glacis. And angled back like that, his upper glacis is pretty much impenetrable. And it looks like artillery is taking a bit of an interest in him. Can he get another one into that object? Yes, he can. Fantastic stuff. The gun depression on this tank is just amazingly good. And it works because of that gun mantlet. The FV4202 can do this as well, but the difference is if the FV4202 gets hit while it's doing this, it's going to take damage because the turret just can't take the hits. Not the way the Centurion can with that gun mantlet. I've bounced shots from BL-10 guns using this tank's gun mantlet. It is that good, and there we go. He's just, I'm not quite sure what it was that hit him there, but the gun mantlet took it, no damage sustained. And again. So that's a shot from the M46 Patton and a shot from the Waffenträger Panzer IV. In fact, is he going to push his luck? The M46 is coming around. He's going to have to deal with the M46 before he goes up against that Waffenträger. Now, there's a Pershing here with him, and I dare say that the M46 didn't expect the Pershing to be there as well. He's trying to back off and get out of the way. The M46 does have more mobility than the Centurion, but when the M46 is in the water, that mobility advantage is negated. The Patton's going to get one more shot before he's dead, and he blows it. I don't know where the Patton fired at the Centurion there, but it just didn't go in. And backed up by the Pershing, who did take the first hit from the M46 between the two of them, they managed to finish him off. Now the Object 704 up there. Remember, there's a Waffenträger Panzer IV on the other side of that railway line, so he needs to be careful. But they need to spot this object. Here we go. Boom, and back off. Now, of course, the object is going to be looking for him. Possibly he hasn't spotted the Pershing going over. Yeah, the Pershing managed to plant one in him. He's now going for the Pershing, and bingo. Some great teamwork between these two medium tank drivers here. The Pershing and a dirty scrub, who is definitely not a dirty scrub. Oh, and there's a Waffenträger. And again, the gun mantlet on this tank is absolutely godlike. It is fantastic. They just can't penetrate it. No matter what's firing at him, they just cannot get through. I do like the FV4202, but I love the Centurion Mark 7. If he had been in an FV4202 in this match, even if he'd been the only tier 10 tank in this match, he'd be dead by now. Because all the shots that have hit his turret and just bounced clean off that gun mantlet, they would have all penetrated and done damage if he'd been in the tier 10 British medium. Because he's in the Centurion 7.1, he's only taken... well, he should have, to be fair, the M46 should have penetrated him from the front. But the only damaging hit he's taken so far in this match was a side shot from the M46. And that's it. Oh, the Pershing up there has just taken a hit from somebody. He's backing off. He's using the Pershing here to spot for him. The Centurion Mark 7 does have very, very good view range. But he's a fair old distance away from these guys. He wants to get shots at... Oh, he can hit... Can he hit the tortoise? The answer to that would be yes. And there it is. That's what he's afraid of. Well, it's not so much that guy. We're pretty sure that down there, there's another Waffenträger Panzer IV. That's why he doesn't want to crest this ridge. He doesn't want to get shot at by the Waffenträger. He wants to keep using the advantage that his gun mantlet and that 105mm gun gives him. And he's actually shooting through the railway tracks here. That tortoise. Did he hit him? We'll find out later. I think he probably did. Oh, back up. There we go. Work that ridgeline. There, perfect. Like an absolute boss. He really knows how to drive this tank. He's having an absolute monster of a game. What do we got now? Oh, he has taken a hit. Not entirely sure what that was. Went into the side of the turret. Possibly the tortoise. Possibly the Waffenträger. Unfortunately, I think the Pershing's just died, so he's it now. He's the only tank left alive down on this flank. So he can't rely on his team to spot for him anymore. Again, being very, very cagey here. Checking for the position of that Waffenträger. He's down there somewhere. Is that the tortoise again? Oh, no, it's a wrpl Borsig. The enemy team pretty much only have tank destroyers left. And they've all been forced into... Oh, well, it hits, and that looked like a premium fire extinguisher. He's going to get him with his second shot. The Borsig hasn't seen him. He hasn't been spotted. The Borsig knows that he's over in this direction, but there's nothing he can do about it. He's still spotted, and now he's dead. And there's the tortoise. Enemy team all forced into one corner of the map now. Although the scores are even. And they do have... Oh, okay. Well, that should have gone in. IS-8 making a run there. Looks like he just got his tracks blown off, but he's got rear shots on this tortoise. If that first shot had gone in, this would have been a kill. But it was not to be. Oh, there's the Conway. The sneaky little Conway. No, you don't. Backs off. Backs off. Aims. Looking for the shot. Dan doesn't need to worry. GW Tiger P took him out. So where are those tank destroyers? Remember, there still was one Waffenträger Panzer IV down there in the river. And that's clearly what he's worried about. Because the Waffenträger Panzer IV has basically posed the biggest threat to him so far. He's the guy that keeps spotting him every time he... Oh, can he take him out? Yes, he can take him out. But even though the team... And they are winning now. They're 12-10 up. And the enemy team are forced into one quarter of the map here. But this is when it gets dangerous because they're almost all tank destroyers. In fact, they are all tank destroyers and artillery. There's only 3 of them left. But tank destroyers, very stealthy, tend to get the first shot. Oh, one of them just been spotted up there on very, very low health. 3 of them left. 2 tank destroyers, 1 artillery, okay? 2 of them left. 1 tank destroyer, 1 artillery. There was one around here. The artillery's just been spotted. So he doesn't have to worry about him. Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah, that'll do. And into concealment. Is he going to reload in time? I think he is. I don't think this... Yeah, this guy knows he's done. Yeah. Oh well. Now there's just the artillery. You see, this is what happens when you take a guy who's played more than 1,300 games in the Centurion Mark 7 and you put him in a top-tier battle on the kind of map like Live Oaks, where you can work the ridge lines with the gun depression, the 105mm gun, and the turret mantlet on the Mark 7 Centurion tank. It is an amazing machine. I love it to bits, and it is my favourite tank in World of Tanks, and I'm pretty sure a dirty scrub would agree. Well, anyway, I did promise you a bumper video today. I have been away for a while, and we're staying British in the Matilda IV, although technically this is a Russian tank. Long before there was a British tech tree in World of Tanks, you could play British tanks, but you pretty much had to play the Russian Lend-Lease versions of them. And those 2 tanks were the Matilda Mark IV at Tier 5 and the Churchill Mark III, also at Tier 5. One a heavy tank, one a medium tank, although you could be forgiven for thinking that the Matilda IV was a very slow, heavy tank. It is one of the few tanks that Britain donated to Russia under the Lend-Lease program that the Russians didn't totally hate. They loved the armour of the tank, but they didn't really like the speed, and the gun was adequate for dealing with things like Panzer IIIs and Panzer IVs, as the Germans also found out during the North African campaign. The one British tank that they actually respected was the Matilda. It was a very, very tough target to crack. The biggest complaint that the Russians had about this tank was the narrow tracks. It had very bad ground resistance on the tracks. It was a heavy tank for its size, and the tracks were particularly narrow, which meant that it did tend to get bogged down in snow and mud. Stalin couldn't afford to be too choosy, of course, because they did kind of have their back up against the wall when the Lend-Lease program was instituted, but Stalin never missed an opportunity to complain about all the assistance he was being given from the West. Nevertheless, what do you need to know about the Mark IV Matilda here in World of Tanks? Well, it's a Tier 5 premium medium tank. It has preferential matchmaking. It will only see Tier 6 games at the most. Why does it have preferential matchmaking? Well, it's a well-armoured tank. It's a small target. It's got a lot of health for a Tier 5 medium. The gun depression is very, very good. It's better gun depression than even the M4 Sherman. The average damage of this 76mm gun is comparable to the damage of the 75mm gun on the M4 Sherman and the 76mm guns used by the T-34. The only problem is the penetration. It sucks. 86mm of penetration. Even using the premium ammunition, the APCR, you only get 102mm of penetration, and that's just plain bad. Nevertheless, it does have that great gun depression. It has a fantastic rate of fire. The accuracy of .41 isn't great, but it's better than you get with the 76mm guns on the KV-1 and the T-34. And the aiming time is fantastic, 1.71 seconds. But it's that lousy penetration which means the Mark IV Matilda, the Soviet Lend-Lease Matilda, has preferential matchmaking. Oh, hold on a second. Cover your eyes, children. Cruelty to small tanks. That was a very ambitious move from Lux. Possibly he's been watching one too many of my Lux videos. The Lux does have the penetration with its 30mm autocannon to beat the 76mm of armour of the Matilda, but the Matilda has a lot of health for a Tier 5 medium, and the Lux just cannot kill it in one reload. And the rate of fire on the 76mm gun on the Matilda means that in the time it's taken that Lux to reload, if he can't get out of there after he's fired his clip off, the Matilda will kill him. But it's that lack of penetration on this 76mm gun. That shot against the Type T-34 should have killed him. Instead, the Stug drives around the corner and finishes him off. It's worth pointing out at this point, by the way, that they are losing horribly. There's only 4 tanks left alive on their team, and there are still 9 enemies. Not quite sure what Flavius is doing here. Don't forget, he's in a slow tank, and he's left that Stug to guard the gates against 2 enemy mediums while he's heading around to... Well, there was an enemy tank up at the back there. Perhaps he was going for him. This T-67 comes over the rise. He's just too slow to get the kill. Another T-67 from the front penetrates him once, bounces once. Any of the guns available on the T-67 are capable of beating the 76mm of armour on the Matilda, but he's got the T-67 at close range. He's going looking for him. No idea where he's gone. And a flak bus appears. Now, this guy also has a gun that can penetrate him. Doesn't have a very, very good firing arc, however. Friendly T-67 appears, puts a shot into him, and Flavius takes the kill. There's the T-67, and he's got him. Friendly T-67, motors in the opposite direction, takes a hit on the way out. There's only 3 of them left. Flavius here in the Matilda, the T-67 that we just saw, and friendly artillery. They're still losing heavily. What's he going to do? Where's he going to go? The Stug that was guarding the gates is dead. Here they come. Those mediums, there's still a couple of them sitting out in the field. In fact, I think one of the enemy team may be AFK, but they're coming at him from all sides now. But he keeps angling the armour, putting the return fire in. What's the rate of fire of this gun? Oh yeah, this is a very, very rapid firing 76mm gun. He's worrying about getting outflanked by that tank that he spotted over there on the right. You can see he keeps checking his side there. He doesn't want to get shot up in the flank. But it looks like he doesn't... Oh, there he is. There he is. There's one. Come on. Come on. There it is. Okay. Backed up there by the T-67. His tracks are down. He's on very, very low health. T-67 starts engaging the T-25, puts a shot into him, dodges his return shot, hits him again with his second shot. He's still going after that T-25. Flavius starts moving to back him up, realises the T-67's fast, the Matilda's slow, the T-25's a one-shot kill, he's never going to catch him. He's never going to be able to keep up with the T-67, so the T-67 chases him down and gets the kill. Meanwhile, Flavius moving around to support the T-67 from the other side as he comes charging back around the corner. Careful, T-67's on low health, you don't want to accidentally drive into him and end up team killing the only other tank left alive on your team. Scores are looking a lot better. While all that was going on, the enemy team managed to kill their artillery. I didn't even see that happening. It's 2 against 3, so it's not looking as bad as it was. However, he doesn't have an awful lot of health left. And that's when disaster strikes. The T-34 on the enemy team on 10 health gets the drop on the T-67, gets the first shot off, and kills him. Flavius Aetius is now alone against 3 enemy tanks. Now, they don't know exactly where he is. This is an assault map, by the way, and Flavius is on the defending team. If he was in almost any other tank, he would always have the option of just running away and hiding, and running the timer down. There is still more than 3 minutes left on the clock, however, so that would be kind of risky, and in any case, he doesn't have that option. He's in a Matilda 4. This is a slow machine. He can potentially, unless the T-34 is lucky and gets a high damage roll, he can take 1 hit from that T-34. Depends, of course, on what gun the T-34 is using. Well, now we probably know where the T-34 is, the cap circle. Somebody's in the cap circle. The T-34 was up here. If he's using the 57mm gun, that has an average damage of 85. He would have to get very, very lucky. There he is. There he is. Oh, we can't quite see him. Can't quite see him. There's some scenery in the way. Oh, he's given his position away. He knows he's here now. And it's not just the T-34 he needs to worry about. There's artillery on the enemy team as well. Oh, he's missed. He's missed. T-34 hits him, damages him, doesn't kill him. He gets the kill. And there's the artillery. That was close. Of course, now they all know where he is, and they could fart in his general direction and kill him now. He's on such low health. Oh, hang on a minute. Jingles, you done messed up. There's 2 artillery left on the enemy team, not 1. Yeah, I've done it again. I realise, of course, that it's completely pointless me correcting myself by now, because I made the cock up minutes ago, so the comments section of this video was already full of, oh, Jingles, you fool, that's 2 artillery on the enemy team, not 1 artillery and 2 mediums, but yeah, whatever. Of course, now, this does change matters. Previously, I'd said that, well, you know, it's assault, he's on the defending team, all he has to do is stay alive and he wins, providing the enemy team don't cap, and now there isn't really enough time left for the enemy team to cap, so running away and hiding, now that he only has to run away from artillery, suddenly becomes an option. But, well, he is in a Matilda. It's not very fast. So rather than just hiding in the corner of the map, what he's doing now is he's lying in ambush. He's waiting for them to come and try to win by capping. Of course, it's artillery. And high explosive can and will kill him. It doesn't even have to hit him. It just has to land close enough when he's on that amount of health. Even a miss from artillery can finish him off at this point. And he's nervously checking all sides. The turret on the Matilda 4 turns pretty quickly, but it doesn't turn quickly enough. Oh, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one hit, there's one hit. He's tracked him as well. Come on, finish him off and get into cover, get into cover. Because the other artillery is going to be trying to land a shot behind that building. And the fact that he hasn't means that he can't. So that tells him more or less where the artillery isn't. Now that he's broken contact, what he's doing here is he's relocating. Careful not to knock over any trees or walls, so that if artillery's in top-down view and watching for him, he isn't going to give his position away. And he's moving away from where he was spotted. So if artillery is, and he isn't, he has to come in and try to kill him, because there's only seconds of this game left. He fires, he takes the shot, he misses, and Flavius Aetius seals the deal with his 9th kill, carrying his team to victory in the Matilda Mark IV Premium Tier 5 Soviet, even though it's really British, medium tank. Well, that's it for today, folks. I thought you deserved a nice long World of Tanks video to celebrate my return from Comic-Con. And no need to thank me. I don't do this for applause. I do this for cash. It's much better. Hope you enjoyed today's video, folks. As always, take care out there. Have fun playing whatever you're playing. And I'll catch you next time.